Okay, chat. Got to talk about this very quickly. So as you can see here, this has had a sale very, very recently. Just a few days ago, someone sold their Undead door for $2. Now, as you look over to here, you can see the highest barter is $1,600. And if you just look at all the barters, you can see there's plenty of barters above $2, and yet someone decided to sell theirs at $2. Not sure what's going on. Maybe they just weren't that informed. Maybe they made a big mistake. And let me tell you, they did make a big mistake because all the recent sales have been like over $1,500 easily. So that happened apparently. An Undead door has sold for that amount. I guess some people just aren't very smart with their money. Oh dear, oh dear. He might have lost out on quite a lot. Now, speaking about potentially missing out on quite a lot, we have to consider what we're doing with our profits with post-Christmas. So, I'm pretty sure some of you, or hopefully all of you, have been seeing this video. In this video, I talk more about making purchases because, of course, with all the post-Christmas profits I've had to kind of put things away, diversify where I put my Steam wallet because, of course, Ruskin prices aren't always going to be this good. When we go through the spring months, when we go through the Easter dip, it is expected with less people playing, there will be less demand for skins. It's a routine thing that happens every single year. I've pointed this out more than enough time. And afterwards, the summertime, kids, summer vacation, loads of time to play Rust. And with the jungle biome on the horizon, well, there you go. And that's where I talked a lot about that FLASHBACKS hoodie. So this is where I want to talk about the focus of this video. Speculation. I speculated that with the proposed jungle biome, a lot of people are going to want to have green clothing and armor. I already knew Reptile Hunter's probably the best shout. I already talked about how I already own a bunch of that, which I could quickly showcase to you right now. And this isn't a brag about of like, hey, ha ha ha, I bought all this Reptile Hunter. No, I bought all that when it first came out. I just never sold all of it. Now, I have put an effort in to buy more kilts. That did happen. But yeah, I still have like loads of hoodie and pants and whatnot. But anyway, I talked about the flashbacks, didn't I? Yeah. Now I said, you know what? I think the flashbacks hoodie probably could maybe improve in the future. So, yeah, there you go. 644 listings. I've bought 500 of these things. I spent quite a lot of Steam wallet buying those. And I just got to get this point across. I didn't put a barter down. I just went, buy mine. I did that like in 3 separate instances. And if I could just show you me keeping track of like all the purchases I have, as you can see here, I did buy 500, and other people just decided to go throw down a big fat chunk of stock. I really, really, really don't know why. So as much as I could speculate that this could, you know, eventually go up in price because people will be looking for other green clothing and armor options that are much more affordable, yeah, that very likely will happen because that doesn't look like it's ever going to go up in price anymore. Why would you do that? I don't know. But it definitely was pushing up to $2 at one point. But then 200 listings, 150 listings. I don't know. But I'll just keep a hold of my hoodies. I don't care if I have to hold on to them for 2 years just to see it go up in price, maybe double in price or whatever. I can live with that. I will still probably look at the FLASHBACKS pants, for example. This definitely looks like it still could go up in price ever so nicely. $4 at the moment. A lot less listings with only 58 at the moment. Yeah, I think that'll at least do well compared to the hoodie. So I don't think I could buy 500 of these, but yeah, with what's available, I'll probably go grab a bunch. I can still sell my Ruskins fairly easily. It's not too much of a hassle. It's not too much of a problem. Yeah, I'm doing good still. Even as we're slowly approaching February time, the player counts still holding up quite nicely. The prices still doing reasonably. I do think a lot of skins have already peaked in price though, but they're still high, so it's still good to consider selling, because of course you can't expect them to drop off even lower. Cool, we got that all nice and established. So just want to quickly point this out to you. Yes, you might have seen this video a bit later when this was released, and you probably have been laughing at me about the FLASHBACKS hoodie. But I wanted to see what the reaction was going to be like, and I can confirm to you there is apparently a lot more listings, a lot more of these in circulation. You should probably maybe avoid that one. There you go. I learned so you didn't have to. I spent the money so you didn't have to. Right. So, okay, if we can't rule out, like, if we can't really jump onto flashbacks, is there anything else we could potentially speculate about? Well, I just mentioned February, didn't I? And what's coming out for the February Force Wipe? Oh, yes, the primitive game mode. So, over the past few weeks, I've been talking about how, you know, primitive game mode, you're not going to be able to use certain weapons, and, well, that very likely could lead to people wanting to use other weapons. That very likely could lead to a lot more interest in wanting to have skins for weapons that in the past really didn't get that much of a look in. Now, one of the main things we were considering when we were well aware of the Knight Armor DLC that's coming out with the Force Wipe for February, well, we found out this is Tier 2 armor. That right there that you can see, that is the DLC. That will be available when the Force Wipe comes out, the February update. And, well, we talked about, people have been looking at the armor pieces from Knights Templar and Heavy Knight, and the prices have been going up because people just bought all of them out. But this is all speculation. A lot of the investors can just assume, well, you know what? Maybe there's going to be a lot of people wanting to dress up as knights. There's going to be a lot of people needing clothing to pair up with that Knight Armor DLC if they're going to buy it. So, yeah, maybe I want to jump in and buy into Knights Templar hoodie and pants, Heavy Knight hoodie and pants. And let me tell you, the prices have been going up very, very nicely as of recent, as you can clearly see. Yes. But will it actually happen? Well, nothing is a guarantee, right? Nothing is a guarantee. So, yes, this going all the way up to $7, it's awesome to see. And if you sold around here, you probably made some sweet, delicious profit. But we're only going to actually notice what the actual interest is when the actual update comes out. We'll see what happens. Maybe this will actually be, that actually might be its all-time high price, because after this, it could easily go down. It's all speculation. We can speculate, but the actual answer we have to wait for. So, yeah, just wanted to point this out as a perfect example of speculation. Yes, there very likely will be justification in wanting to wear these because of all the primitive update and the very cool-looking siege weaponry and whatnot. There very likely will be a lot of people who want to dress up like knights and whatnot. Cool. Awesome. Can't guarantee it's definitely going to happen, though. So, again, we'll find out. So, if you happen to own any of those, like, knight-themed skins, keep an eye out, right? You probably don't want to sell them just yet. Wait until February Force Wipe. You've been informed. I've said it many times in the past, but at least you understand now that it could just be like an investor bubble. It could just be people like us who are buying them out purely because we assume loads of people are going to chase after them. And as you can see here, with the pants here, it spikes up, but now it's starting to cool down. But there's only so many of them to go around now, and maybe there's a limit to how much people can spend. Wouldn't be too surprising, would it? So yeah, give that a good look. Take that into consideration. You can still jump in if you want to, but the prices you'll be paying for are a little bit higher compared to where they were beforehand. And we don't 100% know it's guaranteed to be working out perfectly fine. Okay? So cool. Got that nice and established. But let's also talk about some other things that might have gone under the radar. So if I could just quickly close these tabs. Why do I have this here? What's going on, Hedge? Why do you have that revolver there? Well, apparently, we've been getting a lot of information in regards to what's going to come out with this primitive game mode. And, well, I have a screenshot over here because we have a good idea in regards to what items will and will not be available to be used, aka the weapons more specifically. And as you can see, well, you're not going to be able to use an AK, that's for sure. But you can still use a water pipe shotgun, you can still use a revolver. Now, apparently, there's going to be some sort of balancing with this in which you can't actually make the ammo, you can't craft the ammo. You have to go around, find loot, you have to find ammo that way. Okay, that's fine. That makes them very, very precious. Okay, we can accept that. But, have you taken into consideration if people are very likely to be using bows a lot more, crossbows a lot more, salvage swords, long swords, knives, just pointing it out. Melee skins very likely might be going up in price a lot more because there's a lot more justification potentially. If people are using the weapons more, there's more demand to actually get skins for them. Now you're understanding something. So, I just want to bring this up to all of you. Recently, as I've been looking at bow skins to sell and whatnot, and I do have quite a lot, I think you can clearly see that, one thing I've definitely noticed is some of these bows that really didn't get that much of a look in... Oh, there you go. Don't forget, when something like this happens, you've got to go over, grab the VPN, turn it on, and away you go. So yeah, always make sure you have a VPN at the ready, just in case the request issue appears. Ta-ta. Are we good? Perfect. Right, so there you go. The point I'm trying to get across is, you see this carrot bow? No one really cared about it ever since it came out. Sorry to say, but that's the reality. But now, you see Barlows going all the way up to $1.60. What gives? Well, I just kind of pointed out. There very likely could be an increase in demand to own bow skins, because in theory, there'll be justification to want to actually, get skins, because if you're going to be using it a whole lot more in the primitive game mode, well, there you go. more speculation. Look at the sales history just to get the point across. Do you see how it's just kind of like forgotten about? February last year, 90 cents. February next year, double the price. Lots of speculation happening. So that's just a nice little example showcasing that. And again, we cannot guarantee that it will definitely work out this way, but you can easily speculate. Got the point across, I'm sure, by now, Hedge, I'm sure. So these revolvers as well, and the water pipe skins, could you speculate that maybe, with them potentially being the most powerful weapons in the primitive game mode, could they become a lot more special? Could they become a lot more valuable? Now, revolvers in general, they've always been very nice investments. They've always done a very good job of retaining their interest and their value and demand early in the build of your adventures in a brand new fresh wipe. You're very likely going to be using revolvers, and then eventually you get much better weapons and whatnot. But that is usually a weapon you'll very likely use pretty much every single wipe. You get the idea. So there's always a decent justification to own skins. Well, now things might be a little bit more different, a little bit more special for that. It's definitely for your consideration. Now, that's just one skin. I'm sure many of you are well aware. You can easily go to sem.app, type in revolver, for example, and yippee, look at all of that. I can see all the revolver skins as easy as that. And you might notice, wow, they're all in the positive. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, they're very reliable. And, well, skin creators, it's definitely a perfectly fine time to consider making skins of them, along with salvage swords, long swords, and all of that. Just pointing it out. You can always look at the item database in sem.app as well. Remember, sem.app, you can Google it, it's not too hard to find. And the item database, whilst it might take a while to load up, you can easily see everything with just a few clicks. So if I could go to the item category when it loads in, there you go. Let's go look up all the... no, search item type. Yeah, there we go. I meant to do that. Sorry about that. Long swords. We don't have many of these either, so let's just go and find those. Combat knife, longsword. I can now find every single longsword that was ever added to the game. There you go. We don't have many, and I would like to see more skins being produced and accepted, considering now's probably a great time for it. But again, to speculate. Some of these skins are already valuable because they came out years ago, and there's only so many of them to go around. Danger Fork, I have noticed people have been buying this out. So whilst I'm on SEMM still, you can see all the third-party sites that are selling them. And apparently they're selling them at $7. But on the Steam market, apparently it's now at $70. Be prepared for something like this. Always keep track of what's going on the third-party sites as well. This just clearly has a buyout. However, it's obviously people speculating. Maybe they thought, oh, wait, well, we could probably trick some people. But what actually is the case is, from what I can see here, there was only a few listings at maybe around $14, and then it easily skips up to about $70 after that. So, yeah, don't buy them for $70. Do keep an eye out and double-check third-party sites for other prices. So, yeah, long swords, salvage swords, very likely certain skins and whatnot will be going up in price a lot more now. So, yeah, dressing up as a knight, running around with swords and whatnot. Makes sense, I'm sure. There you go. Here's all the salvage swords as well. Quite a lot of them on display. Now you can also change these around. You can look at them based on price. So let's go by highest price. There you go. Very easy. I've got to go get the scrap tooth sword, right? Because it's expensive. Well, again, you should always just double check the Steam market, look at the sales history, look at the prices to the right. It very likely could be manipulated. And yeah, that's a manipulation. So you're telling me this worthless skin just suddenly goes all the way up to about $30 almost? Well, what do you reckon? Anyway, yeah, just double check things. Lots of speculation, but there's also manipulators making moves. Be prepared. So nice little showcase of a manipulation. I've noticed Adobe Barricade starting to randomly go up in price. What do you use concrete barricades for? Yeah, well, there you go. It's just a role player thing. Yeah, it probably looks very nice with the Adobe building skin and whatnot. Fair enough. But let me tell you, nobody really cared for this. And as you can see, throughout all of the past year, this was basically selling for around less than 50 cents. But oh so recently, it just happens to go all the way up to $3. It's very likely a pump. It's very likely a manipulation. So always double check things. Just be sure you're actually paying for the correct price. Right, so speaking about role player things, I need to talk about the fridge. Because we've been talking about potential speculations we can make based on upcoming content. Well, I've got to talk about fridges. And why is that? Well, I'm sure many of you are aware we're getting some changes to cooking. All right, So look at all the marketable fridges we have there, and of course we do have Twitch drops and whatnot, but it's mainly the ones that we can buy. This is the focus, and now I'm going to showcase to you Face Punch commits. Face Punch are always pointing out what they're currently working on. You can easily see that, but this is a great way to be informed of the newest content that's about to come out. So if I hop over to here, I'm sure many of you are very, very, very well aware of the brand new mini crossbow that's coming out. If you want to get a quick look at that, if I hop over to here, Rusticated has a little video here showcasing that. So it's a primitive gun basically. Oh, look at that, bang, bang, bang. You can shoot 4 shots, but the reload time's a bit long. But yeah, 4 arrows pretty quickly. Cool. Now, you could just use 4 different crossbows, quickly switch between them if you wanted to do. I mean, it's up to you. But yeah, you can see that brand new weapon's probably going to get a lot of interest. Cool. Well, we knew about that like 3 months ago. So yeah, you should consider keeping an eye on the commits because you'll see lots of very interesting information very, very early. How far back can we go? Yeah, 3 months ago. There you go. Long time back, basically. Awesome. Point made. But Hedge, you said cooking. Yeah, over here. Ta-da! Cooking version 2. We are aware that fridges are no longer going to be a role player item. It's going to become a necessity. Because from here and now, it looks to be a case of food is going to start rotting. It's going to spoil. You're not going to be able to eat it and get like all the health and whatnot. You're going to need a fridge to keep it, keep it good. Now, apparently, fridges are actually going to get tweaked. That's something on the horizon. This brand new content isn't expected to come out next month. This very likely might take another couple months, but they're currently working out, figuring out what they want to do. Fridges are going to become potentially a necessity. Now, when they're talking about potential like recipes, chicken pie, food, actual like meals being made, don't you reckon that might give you some sort of like good buffs? You know, oh, I get to run faster. Or maybe my aim's better. I don't know how they're going to do this, but you get the idea. They're going to get some little buffs. People are going to love that, but they're going to need to keep their food good, and they're going to need to go around and find good like bits and pieces. I've got to go get the right mushrooms. Okay, you get the idea. So, point is, fridges, if they're going to become a necessity, not you, I'm looking for this, sorry, there you go. Don't you think the prices of these might go up because there's a demand for them? Don't you think if people quite literally need to have fridges right now, there's an actual justification there? Don't you think, well, skins are going to probably go up in price? Again, speculation. But you can see that kind of working. Everything's kind of aligning properly in your head right now, and you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, he's kind of right. Yeah, people probably will be wanting to get some awesome looking, interesting fridges. But also, take this into consideration, and Mr. Micro, thank you very much for bringing this point up. Don't you think Face Punch would be more willing to accept brand new fridges, for example? Oh, well, yeah, well, there you go. So, yeah, maybe people would probably prefer a lot more of the newer designs, because when you look at something from 7 years ago and something that came out like a year ago, it's kind of... Oh, I just love the request issue. Yeah, if you've been seeing this quite a lot, I've seen it quite a lot myself. So again, quickly with the VPN, I've got to quickly change. I'm going from America. Let's go to Canada. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. About time we better, come on, go. Right, cool. So yeah, looking at an older skin from years ago, you could clearly see, it's not that colourful, it's not that super interesting or whatnot. And then we have the ever so cool looking Frosty's fridge from last year with the transparency, the awesome looking design, the gold trim as well. Night and day differences. I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing a lot of skin creators wanting to make more skins. But those older skins, would they be treated like old vintage skins? Appreciated, adored, loved, collected? Keep an eye out, alright? Speculation. Nothing is a guarantee. Things are subject to change. If I could hop back over to here, maybe revolvers and water pipes get taken out at some point. That very likely could happen. The first month or two, people quickly realise, oh, hang on a minute, revolvers and water pipes are just too, it's too OP in the primitive game mode, and Face Punch might agree, and they'll just take them out. Something like that could happen. Or in the lead up to the actual release of this update, they could take them out just because they want to, or if they feel like it, or they think it's a good idea to remove it. We don't fully know. Keep an eye on commits. So, what has been the focus of this video? Keep an eye out for all the new content that's being mentioned, the changes that are likely going to happen, and if you are smart enough to put 2 and 2 together and realise certain things might become a lot more interesting for certain items and certain skins. Yeah, for example, with fridges, we've basically kind of understood that chances are we're probably going to need to go ahead and keep an eye on those skins because they're very likely to become a necessity. There is also a very good chance you might see a brand new type of fridge being introduced. An electrical one, the one you can actually power up. Powered fridge, right? Just pointing that out. But again, it might just link up to the current fridge. They'll just make some changes. So we shall see. We shall see. So, yeah, speculation. What are you currently speculating? And have you gotten anything wrong? Because, over here I did. I did. Oh, dear. But, hey, I wanted to find out what was going to happen. Well, you found out, didn't you? You very, very... you definitely found out. Are you one of these people listening to these? What are you doing? But hey, like I said, I can easily replenish my funds. I gave it a shot, saw what happened, and yeah, I'll probably take a step back from that now. Don't do what I do. Just watch me do the stupid things and avoid doing it yourself. That's the best way of going about it. Right, so yeah, that's everything that needs to be said. Yep, Kayoletta, like Orty. So what's going to go great with my Orty? I don't know. Potato pie. Or they'll probably do something like fish and chips. If you got fish and you got potatoes, come on now, you know they're going to do that. Give you like a breathing buff. I guess it makes sense. I could go underwater and not have to breathe for an extra 2 minutes. Yippee! All right, cool. So yeah, that's it. That's everything. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope it was nice and insightful, and look forward towards the future. We'll see what happens. And of course, keep an eye out on the workshop because Lunar New Year skins are just around the corner. Lots of interesting skins have already been submitted. Get a good look at that. By tomorrow, I expect another 50 or so. And yes, I do happen to have a collection right here. I've been building it up. I'll probably link it in the description because why not? And yeah, don't forget about those Twitch drops for February Force Wipe. Yes, with the primitive game mode coming out, we also have Twitch drops. Yippee! Yippee! Yes, indeed. So lots of interesting things just around the corner, and now you are aware of them. So with that, thank you very much for watching once again. Catch you later. Saying goodbye.